What is going on, you guys? My name is Marcus and you're watching Roads Untraveled. Behind me is my 1994 Toyota MR2 GT-S, if you guys don't know. And before we get into the video about why I love driving so much, a few more modifications that we've done. So it is on HSD coilovers. Thank you so much to our friends over at t.performance.ca for hooking me up with those. Great coilovers, car's sitting a little bit lower. Also, fast wheels. Canadian company. Once again, we've got 17 by 8.5s in the rear, 17 by 7.5s in the front. Both are plus 35 offset. We've got 215s in the front and 245s in the rear. And as well, we've got the window tint. So I've got 20% on the rear, 3 windows, and then I've got a 35% tint on the passenger and the driver side. Not really legal here in BC, but nobody has seemed to notice yet. So that's all fine and dandy. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. Let's go for a drive, see how these new mods stack up, and in case you guys forgot, I will remind you what I love so much about driving. This is it. Look, we're in the middle of the road, the middle of nowhere, nothing to think about, just the car. In the last video we did on my MR2, I didn't even drive it. It was just a quick update. We hit the dyno, and some of you guys in the comments were just like, drive it, drive it. And I do, it's my daily. I drive it every single day. I just don't film all the time driving because, you know, there's cooler cars out there to film. Let's be completely honest. The MR2 is not the end-all be-all of JDM sports cars, but you guys want it, and I enjoy driving my car, so let's go for a drive, you guys. When I originally got my first MR2, about 4.5 years ago now, I decided that I wanted it to be the perfect daily driver sports car that was comfortable and that I could take on some back roads and have a bunch of fun on the weekends. And here we are 4.5 years later on my second MR2, and we've basically done just that. If you guys missed the dyno video, we're at 286 wheel horsepower and 267 pound-feet of torque at the rear wheels. And of course, behind me is the 2-liter 3S GTE, the Gen 3 3S GTE. This is a 1994 GT-S. But the point of this video, what do I love so much about driving? Well, it's kind of ironic that I'm doing this video and talking about what I love so much about driving, because the first thing is escapism. I love being alone. I love being alone with my thoughts, and driving gets you into a kind of, you know, meditative state, so to speak, where you're just so focused on the task at hand, you don't have time to think about anything else that's going on in your life, which can be, you know, bad sometimes, but can also be very good, you know, to kind of settle yourself back down to baseline. And that's also why this channel, from the beginning, back in 2013, 2014, when we started this channel, that's how it all began, you know. This channel has always been focused on the driving. It's not a build channel. It's not a vlog channel. No, those things are fun and all, and you guys should definitely go subscribe to my vlog channel. But this channel is all about driving, and my life basically revolves around driving now, and that is not a bad thing. It just means that on the weekends, the moments where I have alone, completely in the moment, driving my car hard are fewer and far between. And contrary to what a lot of people think, you don't need 500, 600, 700 horsepower to have fun driving. You can have fun driving in anything, and that's the beauty of it, right? When I was a kid and I saw the SW20 MR2 for the first time, or first time I actually noticed it and had a good look at it, I immediately fell in love, and from then I had to have the car, right? And now that I've had a couple MR2s, you know, for the past 4 years, it's just normal to me. And now I look at other people's cars and I try not to fall into that mindset of I need something bigger, better, more powerful, more striking looking, more expensive, more of a presence, you know. I try not to get stuck in that. And when I find myself getting jealous of other people's cars, which is very easy to do, I just go out for a drive. basically what I've done with this car over the past couple of years that I've owned it is try to make it a little bit more capable on the street, make it a little bit more fun, more engaging, and I only did that once I really got to know the car. And me and my friend Alex were talking last night, actually, that you don't really get to know a car very, very well until you're 100% comfortable with the car until about kind of 5 to 10,000 kilometers. So after that, I mean, my car was bone stock for those first 5 to 10,000 kilometers that I owned it. And now, after I finally got to know the car, now I can start dialing in a little bit more boost, a little bit more power, put some wider tires on it, front and rear, you know, hunker it down, get some aftermarket suspension, maybe bigger sway bars, and really open the taps so I can, you know, bring the car to its full potential for my driving level. But I only did that after I knew the car. I mean, what's the point of having a car if you can only drive it, you know, at 40% all the time or most of the time? To me, that's just useless. There's so much more there. I'd rather push a car to its potential on the road even than have, you know, a 918 that you just drive around and you can listen to it and look at it, which is great, but that's only, I mean, for me, that's less than half the experience of owning a car, is looking at it and listening to it. So recently on our podcast that we put out every single week, I was talking to my buddy Sid, and we basically, over the course of an hour, discussed the perfect Porsche 911, because we're both really obsessed with 911s. Him a little bit more so. He knows a lot more than I do about 911s, but we basically narrowed it down to my favorite 911, the one 911 I would take above anything else. And it was basically between two. It was either the 911R or a 997 GT3 RS, either the 4-liter or the 4.1 that Sharkworks makes. And that took a very long time, and he asked me, would you rather have a 997 GT3 RS or a brand new GT2 RS, which of course is way faster, way more capable around a track, and way more expensive, and it's got more road presence, I feel like. But it really boiled down to the fact that cars like the 911R and a GT3 RS are a lot more visceral and raw feeling than a brand new PDK Porsche, right? With all the assistance and aids you get from the ECU and all these computers and stuff. But to really boil it down to the basics, there's something about an older car, not even an older car necessarily, but a more raw driving experience that will always draw guys like Sid and I back to driving, back to those kinds of cars. It will always grab our attention more than something that's more capable, has better numbers, and that you can brag about. But when it really comes down to it, bragging rights, I don't give a shit about bragging rights, okay? I don't care if you have 700 horsepower and I have only, 300 at the wheels. And that's part of the reason why I do this show. I get to drive a lot of these cars with a lot more power than my MR2 will ever have. But I can always come back to my MR2. I can always come back to baseline, and my MR2 is always still just as fun. I think the best part about driving, though, is that there doesn't have to be a mission. There is no goal to driving. There's no completion. You're never finished, okay? It's not a staged thing. It's not a timed thing. It's not a judged thing. There is no winner. There is no loser. Well, I mean, unless your car breaks down and you crash and you die, that's a losing scenario. Wow, that got dark really fast. But there's really no point to driving. The point to driving generally in the traditional sense is to get from point A to point B, which is the mundane driving. That's the stuff that I don't normally like doing. But out here, there is no point. I don't have to be thinking about where I'm going. Am I gonna be there on time or anything? It's just, where am I placing my car in this corner? And where am I gonna accelerate out? Do I wanna just cruise? Do I wanna completely give her? Is there a girl on the side of the road I wanna quote unquote impress? Does my ego want to impress? It's all those little things that come into play when you're driving a sports car. And why I said earlier that it's ironic that I'm making a video on this is because right now, I'm thinking about the video. I'm thinking about talking to the camera, so it's kind of pulling me out of the experience a little bit. But at the same time, it's all the same. Right now I'm having a blast, and this is This is the only thing, there's nothing else I'd rather be doing right now. Let's put it that way. And I guess to balance off this video a little bit, what's the one thing I don't like about driving? The money. It costs a lot of money. Driving as a hobby is extremely expensive, especially if you have a car with a turbocharger, a big engine, a little bit of power, maybe questionable maintenance. BMW. But it's a very expensive hobby. And that's why I bought a Toyota, to be honest, because I think under $10,000, and this is a little bit of a side note, but under $10,000, I think this is the best sports car you can buy. That's it. That's the end of the conversation. Driving to me, like, it's just to be free. Get out of the house. Get out of the routine. You know? It's unpredictable. You go to work, you go to an office, you go to school or anything like that. It's very routine. You kind of know what to expect most of the time. When I go out for a drive, that is, if there is one goal or objective of driving for fun, it is to not have a goal. For it to be completely unpredictable. There is also definitely something to be said about driving with your friends, driving with your mates, and going out on the road as a group to have the same purpose. You guys are all in the same mindset. You've agreed, okay, this day, this time, or even if it isn't organized and you're just like, let's go somewhere. Let's go to that coffee shop or that ice cream shop that's way out of the way, outside of town, because we have the freedom to get behind the wheel of our cars and just drive and drive and drive and drive. And that's what I love most about it. There's a tangible feeling in the air when you and your friends go out on a drive together. That's it. All right, you guys. I think it's time to do a quick pull here. There's 12 kilometers an hour, 15 kilometers an hour, 16, and shutting it down. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you appreciated this quick little drive. Just me alone on the road with you guys. Please comment down below what your favorite things are about driving and cars in general, and what you think about the mods I've done to my MR2. Definitely check out T-Dot Performance, check out Fast Wheels, both Canadian companies, and check out Campos down in LA who built my turbo for me. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Definitely check us out on Instagram at Roads Untraveled. See you next time, you guys. Have a good drive. All right, you guys, so before I go, I just want to make a quick announcement for all our East Coast fans. I will be attending APX Boston 2018 on September 16th with a bunch of other YouTubers, including Dr. M3 and David Patterson, that dude in blue, who we've met before. The Automotive Personalities Experience is an event where community members can meet some of their favorite YouTube personalities. And also participate in the community car show and much more. We'll be actually racing at K1 Speed, so come race me in go-karts. It'll be really fun. One badge also gets you into the raffle, and there's a bunch of prizes, including a chance to win a ride in Dr. M3's Lamborghini Huracan Performante. That's pretty crazy. So make sure to click the link in the description to purchase tickets. Use code ROADSUNTRAVELED to save $5. And be sure to follow Apex Events on Instagram at Apex Events.